First degree, premeditated murder.
And we continue to follow breaking news. A police officer guilty of first-degree murder, and it didn't take the jury long to make that call. Ken Bluew killed Jenny Webb and their unborn son.
He is guilty on all counts. It is the verdict a local family has been waiting for, and tonight they're getting some justice. WNEM TV5's Liz Gilardi, live and local outside the Saginaw County Courthouse with more reaction. Liz.
Sam and Katie, tears of joy from the family of Jenny Webb. Ken Bluew found guilty of her murder, and her family says they knew all along she didn't commit suicide.
First degree, premeditated murder, guilty.
Ken Bluew guilty on all 4 counts. A jury found him guilty of killing a pregnant Jenny Webb and causing the death of their unborn baby. It took them only an hour.
The evidence that Ken Bluew murdered the mother of his child is overwhelming.
The prosecutor says Bluew killed Webb, then staged it to look like a suicide, complete with a fake note. The defense insisted Jenny Webb took her own life, but the jury didn't buy it. Her family has waited more than a year for this day.
All the evidence pointed to that, so there was, in our minds, there was no other option to what it was, but it has been delivered, and now it's the truth, and it's out there, and so there's finally justice for Jenny and Braxton.
Webb's parents still think about their daughter every day, and the grandson they never had a chance to meet.
I just don't think there's any winners in this at all. We're all kind of losers. We lost our daughter and our grandson. Ken Bluew lost his right to freedom. He'll be in prison the rest of his life, which makes us happy. His mother lost, his family lost.
The prosecutor says Jenny Webb was her own best witness because they believe she fought back. The prosecutor pointed to key evidence when he made that connection today during closing arguments, including DNA and blood left all over the crime scene. That blood and DNA fingerprints all belonging to Ken Bluew. But the prosecutor also said that typed suicide note shows this is something Bluew was planning to do because it was typed on a computer, printed out, brought to that crime scene. But the big unanswered question in this case, and the thing that police officers and detectives couldn't figure out, is where that typed suicide note was printed. They searched dozens of computers and they simply couldn't find it. They don't know if it was maybe printed off at Kinko's or a library. Reporting live and local in Saginaw County, Liz Gilardi, WNEM TV5.
And Liz, it seemed like when the verdict was read, he was just stone cold in a way. Like we didn't see any emotion, really no reaction from him at all.
Katie, no emotion, no reaction, really just kind of had his head down. I expected him to turn around and look at his family, some family members sobbing in the back of the courtroom, and he just put his head down and walked out.
And when is sentencing? Do we know yet or no?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
No, we don't have a date for that yet.
All right, and when we do find out, of course, we'll pass it along to you at home. We're already getting an outpouring of reaction from several key players in this case, as you just saw several family members sharing their thoughts on the verdict.
We also heard today from the man who led the prosecution against Ken Bluew.
Well, I think that it's a just verdict, and I'm certainly thankful for the outcome, and I wish it had never come to this.
And we are taking a closer look at the Ken Bluew murder case. Here's what the prosecution told the jury during closing arguments.
Ken Bluew, they said, was the only person who had a motive to kill Jenny Webb because he didn't want to pay child support and he didn't want to divorce his wife.
Now, there's no reason why Webb would commit suicide, according to the prosecutor. She was looking forward to having the baby.
During the struggle, she apparently bit Bluew's finger, and part of his DNA ended up on her clothing.
And he left a blood trail and evidence all over the crime scene. That was enough to convince the jury in about an hour's time.
You can go to WNEM.com where you can learn about every day of the trial. We have links to every day's testimony. We've got a slideshow. We've got some video that we've compiled during the course of the investigation and trial.
And we will continue to follow this story, have the very latest for you on WNEM TV5 News at 11.